Hello, everybody. We are live.
Hello.
Ian, why do I feel like Doggo was completely your thing there, or was that Brian?
It had to have been a combination. There's no way we could have come up on it on our own. Like it's huge. Like everybody
very creative.
Yep.
Oh, too good. Anyway, welcome everyone to the 2025 Rube Goldberg Unreal Feed a Pet Challenge. I don't know if I said that in the right order or not. There are a lot of words to it. I feel like I covered it. We're pretty good. But I do want to welcome everyone. I love being part of these. I get to be part of so many of these streams. When it comes to Rube Goldberg competitions, I get to judge the real life ones sometimes when they're video entries. I get to judge them in all sorts of game platforms. And I love the Unreal ones because the creativity truly shines. But we have a lot of introductions to do. There are a lot of folks joining us. And I would be amiss if I didn't start. And I'm going to, Ian, forgive me. I'm going to leap over you. And we're going to start with Jen for like a really good reason. So Jen, say hi.
Hi, everybody. I am Jennifer George. I am sort of an accident of birth, having been grandfathered into this whole Michigas. I am Rube's granddaughter, and all things Rube pass across that table. And that happens to be over there. I can't even tell. The pink hat is on a sculpture that Rube did of himself. So he kind of presides over everything all the time. And I thought, let's put him in this web session to announce the winners. I'm going to pass it along. Ian?
Oh, Ian's muted.
I know.
Needs a moment. Okay, he's good.
I have to unmute myself. There we go. So yeah, hello everyone. Ian Southwell. I'm a creative director here at Clever Lake Studios. Big shout out actually to a gentleman in our little chat here too, the artist behind a lot of the little pieces that people have been playing with. I was the engineer, so I got to work with him. So yay! So glad to see Water Snake out there. This is awesome for us to actually like show this off because as a teacher, I get to work with so many students, but these are a whole bunch of people from around the world I've never met, and they get to play with all these cool toys, and it's just awe-inspiring to see it happen. And this is definitely one of those projects, and I know I've said this over and over and over, and I still mean it because it's true that I get to go back and play with this. And this is like one of those projects, you know, you'd spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on, and then you go back and play with it and been like, this is still really cool. I would continue to play with this, you know, and it never gets tiring. Like there's always something fun and new to do with it. So yes, so excited to see what's going on with all these new pieces, and no spoilers. I'll be quiet. Shh. Okay. I'm going to pass it to the gentle person below me. Say hello.
Hey everybody. My name is Steve Isaacs. I'm the senior manager of programs and partnerships at Epic Games. And my focus is on secondary education and supporting students and educators and bringing our tools into the classroom. This is one of our favorite events, the Rube Goldberg Challenge, which this is our second year. Although I've been involved with Rube Goldberg Institute for many more years through other projects, and I'm a huge fan, as anyone who knows me knows. But big shout out to Clever Lake and the gang for the learning kit that has now been, gosh, I think a lot of people's first foray into Unreal Engine because it is really just such a great way to get started and learn. So with that, I do know the answers of the winners and stuff, so I got to keep quiet for a little longer. But I will pass it over to Snow.
Oh, let's see. Can I do it? No, well, I got that one. I do a high five. Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be a part of this. I lead our global K-12 strategy at Intel, and former educator. My entire life has been in the ed tech world. And I want to say just these videos were amazing. And I'm like, I really want one of these in real life for my pet. Although I don't know if my pet would actually have the patience to wait for some of them and just go after it, but just brilliant work. So I'm honored to be a part of this and can't wait for us to celebrate together as we watch the winners. And I'm going to pass it over to, I'm going to jump over to Steve and go over to Ansley.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Ansley Partosa. I'm the marketing specialist with NASEF. And I just got to say, it's a real joy to be here with you guys live, because watching all of the Rube Goldberg machines is really cool. because I am the social media person for NASEF. So posting about all of these really cool contraptions is really fun. And I actually have a background in game development. I have a degree in 3D animation. So seeing that kids can learn Unreal Engine at such a young age, I'm very jealous. And I'll pass it down that way to
Hey folks, this is my second year participating in the Rube Goldberg Challenge. Thanks to Steve and all the other gang here and Clever Like for involving me in this competition. And just like Ansley was saying, it's really spectacular to see the growth and the adoption of the Unreal technology, preparing students for higher education and learning more about game design and game art. And I thought we saw some really spectacular adaptations of the kit in the selections that were made this past year. So I look forward to continuing to participate and love to talk to any of the students out there about following a career in using real-time technology.
Awesome and love it. And, I realized I didn't really give myself a formal introduction. So I'm Eric Leitner. I'm the education content producer at Clever Like Studios and Clever Like School. I get to work with Ian, which makes me a super lucky guy. And though Ian makes all the cool stuff and, all the environments and assets that you got to work with and all the instruction that's fun for the students to engage with, I get to make the lesson plans for the teachers, which is way more fun. That's where the excitement is. But yeah, I love working on these projects and I get real joy out of working with these programs and with Ian. So super excited to be here. But I'm going to pass the mic again back to you, Steve, because we have some information we want to share before we get started, including, but not limited to prizes, which may be why some people are tuning in.
Yeah. Well, let me hand off back to Snow when we talk about prizes, because Intel was most gracious in supporting us. I'll just throw in real quick that among the prizes are Unreal or Fab Marketplace credits, which we'll get to the winning classes. And then there's some other prizes, but Snows gets to announce the big one.
Well, we're very excited to announce that our winners of each division will be getting a Core Ultra. So it's an Intel Core Ultra. And what that is AI PC. So these are PCs designed specifically if you want to use AI in your work. It helps enable and accelerate the AI usage. So we're very excited that we're going to be handing out laptops to our winners. And then for our other winners too. So if you didn't get first, for our second and third, and I think for some other ones, incredible Intel swag. I had to remind myself what all was in there. And there's backpacks. There's the stuffed bunny person. So if you've seen that around, I was trying to I was writing off everything. There's speakers, Bluetooth speakers, water bottles, backpack. I already said backpacks, but anyway, so many, just a full bag of swag. And so we're going to make sure everyone is taken care of from Intel, and hope you all enjoy it.
And let's also remember we have Avid speakers or headsets, right? Did we say that? I don't know if we said that.
You did now. You totally did now.
So anyway, we have those to look forward to. So thank you, Avid.
Awesome.
All right. So Steve, I think it's time to start sharing. Right. We've enthralled them with all of our personal backgrounds. Yes. So now I guess the mundane part of showing, the builds. Now, so let's get to the exciting stuff. Let's get to the exciting stuff.
All right. Well, first off, I will say, I say this, I think every time, judging is hard. The creativity, the effort, the energy, the humor, everything that went into all these projects, we commend everyone who participated and submitted one. I know that many, many people, and we saw the ones that got submitted. I know a lot of people start the project and maybe don't even get to that point. So to all of you who submitted a final project, kudos to you. You deserve our accolades for sure. And with that, this is the hard part, but we're gonna announce the winners, and we're gonna we're going to show the top 3 videos from each division, but I do want to acknowledge also 4th and 5th place in each, again, because if we had prizes for more people, there would be more prizes and all that. But for the junior division, so this is teams where the participants are 17 years old and under. In 5th place, we're proud to announce the Blue Comets Productions team from Ashboro High School in North Carolina. Yay. And if you're here with us in the live stream, please shout out and let us know that you're here, because we're excited to have you with us. With that, we move on to 4th place in the junior division, and that goes to somebody named Gerardo from Middle College High School in California. And I know we do have some folks from Middle College here today. So congratulations, Gerardo. All right, now we're going to get to see some cool works in action. So we're going to go to 3rd place now. And before I even bother naming a name, because it'll probably show up in here, maybe Eric can run the video, and we will.
I mean, it might be exciting for them to see their video and realize that they're up there, right? So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let's
all
see.
Right.
They're all waiting now. They're like, oh my gosh, did I get 3rd?
All right, here comes 3rd place for the junior division.
Such a good video.
So good.
Has been fed.
So good.
And I love there were some, custom things that were not our builds that were added to that one. So, I'll let Ian talk to that one and maybe a little bit of what you saw in there.
Okay, that was phenomenal. The idea behind when we built the toaster, I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. But to see somebody like take that and like use it just on the side and do some fun things, it was like, that's fun. And then all of a sudden there's like this cannon in there. I'm like, what? Like, I want to see more about this. And then the tubes that go round and round and round. Those things are not easy to get right. Those are really difficult to deal with. The spline technology that's in that to actually build those things is an immense piece of like finagling to get it to work. But it's one of those tools that transfers into so many other different applications, like CAD programs, for example. Like, just amazing to do things like that. You actually see them inside of Twinmotion as well. So it's really cool to see all the extra little tiny bits and pieces that go in there. I would be amiss to say that's kind of how I feed my cat too. I'm just like, here's a bunch of food, go.
A shower of kibble.
Yes, exactly.
And I love the flame in there. That was great. And, you know, in real life, we're not allowed to use flame in competition or fire. So it's always nice to see it when it doesn't.
Wait, but you're saying the rest of that you're allowed? So cannons, dumping food on a cat's head, all of that is fair game in the real one? Or,
you know, cat's head in real life, but you cannot, you definitely can't start a fire.
How about the skateboard with the knife? I thought that was pretty smart. I was like, I don't know about in real life, but animated, that was great.
It was so great. And then I'll tell you, the water wheel, I mean, I've actually seen so many of these transfers of energies in real machines, and it makes it that much more exciting because, you know, to see someone actually be able to animate it, it's incredible.
It really, really is.
And the music, let's talk about the music.
Always helpful.
Yes. Perfect music.
It's stuck in Steve's head. Steve's got a new earworm for the day.
Yeah, until the next one. Yeah, that was fantastic. I love the little truck kind of getting dropped in the funnel as well.
Did we mention the name and where they're from?
I'm gonna do that. Let's see. Okay. You ready? Are you ready for it? Did anybody? I wonder if they're watching. But that was third place, and that was somebody by the name of Jake from URE. And then there we go again, because I always got that wrong last year. Charter school, and I think I might have said it right this year. Eric had it right last year. Does that sound right?
I did, but I don't remember how I said it. I just remember the conversation. So we're going to go with you nailed it this time.
I think
you may not have, but I'm going to feel confident and say you nailed it.
And they're also in North Carolina. So North Carolina represent.
Wow.
All right.
Congrats.
All right. And now I guess that makes us move on to number 2. Why don't we do it the same way, Eric? And
it does. And things are going to get a bit more interesting. So, you know, maybe Ansley pay close attention to this one, because there's a lot of 3D design in this one that was not part of the tool set we provided. So here we go.
What's going on, Rube Goldbergers? My name is Eli.
And I'm Ethan. You might remember me from last year's vehicle-themed Rube Goldberg entry. Pretty epic, right?
We've now come to you to show you our masterpiece of a Rube Goldberg machine.
This year, we were tasked with feeding a
big chicken.
I have a new earworm.
There you go. You're gonna get a new one like every 5 seconds today.
Yeah.
It's that wee sound, isn't it? The wee. Yes.
I just
There is one school in particular that really likes that sound. That's all I'm gonna say. You haven't heard the last of it, maybe.
maybe.
I love the shine from like the toaster to toaster. That was fun.
That was cool.
And I just like the idea of a big chicken. And you know, how can you not love a big chicken? I don't understand the technical component. Maybe Ian, you can explain it, because I that looked pretty hard to do to me, but you know, I'm strictly analog. I'm just a viewer. So please explain.
It's all real chickens for Jen. No digital chickens.
It was 3D scanned. Couldn't you tell? It was so real.
No real chickens were fed in this video.
There you go. One of the things that I will comment about that one is that the adding all the pieces that weren't actually in our project. And one of the things that I love about Unreal Engine and UEFN, because we're constantly in there as well, is the ability to bring in your own whatever really you want to, whether it's 3D scanned or photogrammetry, which is basically the same thing for those that are paying attention, right? But the sound effects too. And then all the editing that goes into it afterwards. Like there are so many different disciplines that were actually put together inside of here. Like I guarantee those were probably some of their own voices, not just with the voice recording, but the humor that goes into it too. Like there feel like there might've been a script, and then all of a sudden they were just kind of like, well, let's just show a car crashing instead, because it was just kind of we'll let it go. And those pauses, the long pauses, they're amazing. And then to fill them in with, the little ball while it's rolling like over and over. And I'm waiting for it to hit the collision, and it doesn't hit the collision, and it keeps going through the door. And I'm like, perfect. Like, break the expectation of the viewer and make it really, really enjoyable. Loved it. Love it.
I'm not going to lie. I have a thing for, we're going to throw every Looney Tunes sound effect we've got in this one.
Exactly. And then that monkey flashed on for a minute with the bat. And
groundhog or something.
Yeah. I mean, it was full of surprises, and I love seeing them in the video because they are funny. I mean, they're really funny. So
even in the credits, I don't know if you saw it said Funny Dance had a credit. Funny Dance at the end was in the credits, like not just behind the credits, but was credited.
So who are they?
Who are they indeed, Steve?
Well, the name of the team, this might come as a surprise, is Chicken.
I'm shocked.
Shocking.
Like really big chicken?
No, just chicken. And this team was from Osgood Township High School in Ontario, Canada. And they and URE are no stranger to this competition or to the winner's circle. And shout out from Mark DeBow, who's the teacher, and just does great stuff with his students. So yeah, terrific job there. And I guess we should move to team number 1, do you think?
But before we do that, I just want to explain to everybody, all the kids, that we have all watched these videos. And even though I'm saying, who was that? We have seen these, and there's a whole bunch of other people that aren't on this screen today, and they watched them too. But we saw so many, I can't remember the names. So that's why, thankfully, Steve is here to fill us in.
And let me also just do a quick shout out because Michael Holden, I don't know if Michael is watching, but he's from, hopefully I'm saying it right, URE. And Laura Compton is here tonight too. So those are all people that, help their teams get involved. And they had a number of teams from middle college in California. So kudos for sure. And with that, let us go. Oh no, I lost where we were here. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure we were on number 1 in the junior division.
Number 1. Okay, let's do it.
I know you want to leave them hanging, but
Well, why don't we go to the senior division first?
You want to just jump over? Oh, okay. All right, let's take a look at first place in the junior division.
Drum roll.
Hello, my name is Liam. I am Drew. Our theme right now is pirates, basically. So there's a bunch of cannons and stuff. It's pretty cool.
It's a very nice theme. A lot of ships.
A lot of ships. Anyways.
More chickens.
More chickens!
They have a theme.
They've got a theme. I'm telling you, they got a theme.
How many kabooms were there? I forgot.
I did not count all the kabooms.
Give that
21
5
cannon
booms.
salute there.
5 booms.
That was great. Really great.
Yeah, fantastic. And
That is a great way to cap the junior division.
yeah. Anyone want to guess what school they're from? They're
Kaboom.
from the the chicken school of Osgood Township in Ontario, Canada. So they took first and second. And that one was called, or the team was Precious Bigus.
And now we know who's we. There was a question of who's we in the chat, and now we know who's we. It's
Yes, we know.
right, 'cause
That name, that word that I couldn't say. Team.
It was a powerful use of a theme, and I liked how they explored some additional lighting. You know, we've seen some variety of lighting, especially out of that one school, but it felt like it was really part of the daytime, and it really showed off the work really well.
It did. And I love the landscapes. I mean, I'm a Pirates of the Caribbean person. So it just made me so happy. And I will say, we have seen quite a few pirate themed machines, and I'm going to leave it at that as we go into the senior division.
They did have a chicken on this boat, so they're not going to starve. But I didn't see too many of the oranges, so we have to concern ourselves with scurvy.
Scurvy, yeah.
It was
All
great.
right.
The music. I mean, the music on each one has just been amazing. Spot on with the theme.
Absolutely.
And the
All
transfer,
right.
they were great too. I mean, everything. So it really worked on every level.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Let's.
So first, I mean, a hearty congratulations to all the teams we just showed from the junior division. Amazing stuff. And prizes will be coming your way. We will sort that out after. But now we go to the senior division. And for 5th place, we actually had a tie. So 5th place, we had 2 different teams. One was the team called Quacker from Australia, I believe. And the other 5th place team was just simply K from Washington State. And then 4th place, congratulations to Sparky from Southwest Edgecombe High School, another North Carolina school. I believe they're a Spark NC school, which is exciting. And that brings us to the top 3 from the senior division. So without further ado, I'll hand it to you, Eric, to press play.
And here we go. I'm rolling the clip.
Roll it.
Hi there. Welcome to our overcomplicated invention, Food to the Table, Duck Edition. Our machine is what happens when you mix a kitchen, a physics lab, and a duck with very high standards. The idea was simple: feed a duck. The result? Not so simple. We packed this machine with kitchen chaos, flying toast, and rebellious watermelons. And we made sure to include all simple machines, because if you're going to feed a duck, you might as well use a complicated system. It may look like total nonsense, and it kinda is, but every object has a purpose. Well, most of them. Some are just there for emotional support. The best part, after all that work, is that the duck serves himself. We built a whole machine, and he's like, "Thanks, I got it." Thanks for watching.
That was fun.
I will tell you what I love about this one. It's simple. It used all the tools that we had put in the kit. It met all the criteria. But the one thing it did that I don't think we've had any entry do, and Jen, this is really for you, is like that was the perfect explanation of what a Rube Goldberg machine is. Like seeing one in action while hearing exactly what it is and what it should be. I did like the bonus emotional support items that are in the world.
I like that.
It was true. Very true. I mean, it's a delightfully overly complicated waste of time and energy, which is how Jimmy Kimmel described a Rube Goldberg machine.
I appreciate that it went like full circle, right? Like there was this foreshadowing at the beginning of it, and then it comes all the way back, and then to be able to talk over it and nail it for that one length of time, as many tutorials as I do, it is really tricky to do that. So huge props to that. The other thing that was huge props is when we were working on this, we built the dominoes on the spline. Again, the splines, right? Because they make things so much easier. But then to go through, and we've seen this in a couple of them too, so I'm going to point it out here specifically, people are actually setting up those dominoes. And in this case, we've got other shapes that are doing it. They're not always easy to get to work, especially when you hit the play button. Sometimes they wiggle just a little bit and they start to fall down, and you have to do a whole nother take. And it's absolutely mind-boggling to have to iterate over and over and over when you're just like, I could just use the dominoes. But, they stick with it, and they actually put those ones in there, which is super, super awesome. The other thing that I really loved in this one too is, so if we were to look at rewind the video, go back and look at where the not the lever, I can't remember the
pulley. The
pulley. Thank you. That's the one I was looking for. The one I can never spell either. So the pulley, it's floating in space when we built it. And I was like, well, what should we do with that? How should we make that thing? This is the first time, we get to see somebody actually like putting something underneath it to make it look like it's actually weighted in the world. So that storytelling that goes in behind, just little tiny things like that. I just love it. Absolutely love it.
It was a great use of the kit. I mean, perfect.
And bonus points, because here at the Clever Like team, we love our rubber duck. We really, really do. Pretty much, and this is I'm giving away the secret, although they still have to find it. I think everything we've ever created has a rubber duck hiding in it somewhere.
Yep, the rubber duck is actually making it out to Unreal Fest this weekend. So
there you go.
Watch for the duck.
It's a hallmark of all computer science. You have to talk to the duck. So if all those are looking,
it was our lead programmer. I'm not gonna lie, it was our lead programmer. Yes,
but I really like how succinct the whole piece was, how quickly everybody was able to talk over it. It didn't feel like it was rushed, but it was very succinct. Kudos for that.
Duck does not play nice with my green screen. I'm just gonna.
The duck actually has a story behind it too, but we'll have to reveal that later. We're gonna go ahead and move on.
Save that one for another time, I guess.
Oh, there it is. Hey, there. I don't have to say it. Here it is. Oh, I got it.
You do it. You do it. Go, Ian.
I saw it.
We're fighting with the button
behind the rubber duck. So, Water Snake was actually the creator behind all of the models. Like I mentioned, he did all the everything that was on top of it. I did the engineering, but so Water Snake, this is an homage to his grandmother. That's where the duck actually comes from.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So thank you for being here, Water Snake. We appreciate you.
Yep. Appreciate you. Love you.
And I should tell you who that was, shouldn't I?
I suppose we should know who that was.
Oh yeah.
That was Team Duck Machine, and they are from El Paso, Texas. So congratulations. That is the third place team, Texas. And now let's do it, Eric. Let's go to.
All right, before we go on, though, I'm just going to say we have amazing creative machines. We need the names of the machines and the teams to match the creativity of the
Right.
We had Team Chicken. We got Team Duck Machine. Let's see what's up next. Here we go.
Hello, this is Captain Jack presenting the Unreal Engine Rube Goldberg Machine 2025 submission, and our theme is pirates. So our objective is to feed our pet Sharky, but he's on a diet, so we're going to feed him an apple to keep the doctor at bay. The machine parts include all the simple machines plus some pirate specials. The list of them include inclined plane, pulley, screw, lever, wheel and axle, wedge, black powder, catapult, gongs, parrots, cannons, and we've even harnessed the power of the sun. Energy transfer styles include chemical, mechanical, thermal, and biological. We consulted the old comics from Rube Goldberg, and it seems like biological is a valid one. Credits where credits are due, nothing pirated, everything's properly licensed or royalty and copyright free. And now on to the machine itself. Enjoy.
The fish has been fed.
The fish has indeed been fed.
Another pirate machine that's fantastic.
All these pirates have different pets.
They do. Was very, very beautifully done.
You know, Jen, when I made my slide decks to teach everyone about the simple machines, because again, I'm on the lesson plan side of things. I missed the slide deck on parrot being one of the simple machines, so I got to go back and make that one.
Exactly. And you know, he mentioned that in my grandfather's cartoons that biological transfers of energy were part of a thing, but Rube really liked anthropomorphizing animals to make the machines work. So it's always good to do that if you can. And for those that don't know what that means, it means like giving an animal a human emotion. So, like in one of Rube's cartoons, a turkey is grieving over his wife being basically on the kitchen table. He's all upset. His tears weigh down a sponge, and that's what starts the machine.
I love the fuses that would, to make the cannons go. That was cool to me.
Yeah, I was looking at that going, ooh, how do we make that? How did they do that?
Yeah.
Definitely had my eyes.
For this project, it really inspired me to think about one of our current seniors or just graduated, and they've made all these types of contraptions. We're going to just drop a link in the chat here, but really inspiring stuff. I'm not sure if people can see that. Probably not. Oh, wow. But I do encourage you to go check out Silly Wabbit at artstation.com to check out their mechanism. Very cool. But I like the unique contraptions that you came up with during that whole event. And I think they were well timed. So good work.
Yeah, I love that with all these different pirate themes, it still like fits into the world because they're all simple machines. They're all building from like a big machine by utilizing all those simple machines.
There was one pun that they missed though. At the beginning, they said, "Nothing's been pirated," and I wanted to go. I was like, you can go into it, but yeah.
Maybe they were hoping we were all smart enough to make the connection ourselves, which you were.
It was great.
True, but I was like, hey, you got to call it out. But yeah, really good and just so creative. I mean, I loved how he explained everything and everything that was in there, and it was a good video for if you're new to this and you're not sure what to look for. It helped explain the components of it and then went into it, which really loved that piece.
Absolutely.
So who was this?
Yeah, Steve, who was that?
That was Team J&J from Dayton Regional STEM School in Ohio.
Congratulations, J&J.
That was phenomenal, right?
Yeah, I love the pirate stuff. I mean, obviously, we've got a thing for pirate stuff this year because it keeps coming up, So,
but I mean, with as good as all these were, it's hard to think that one might have topped them. So let's see if we, agree.
And I'm gonna let this one play out in its entirety because they do the explanation of everything at the end, including what their role is and kind of how they got involved in this. So I'm gonna let this one run through since this is our senior first place winner and this is our last video of the evening. So let's see what we've got.
Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed my Rube Goldberg machine. I'm Chase, a previous XR software engineering intern for NASA and currently for Lucid Motors. Inspired by the magic and scale of fantasy, I stuck to a medieval castle-themed machine. Filled with a fix of cursed skulls, enchanted swords, and dragons, which is your pet. In the background, you'll be able to see some of the custom interaction and functionality I was able to create using the blueprint system in Unreal. Everything from the video was during runtime, so that means there was no cuts, and it's all continuous motion based solely on Unreal's physics. In total, I implemented 37 custom blueprints, 11 particle systems, and 22 combined static meshes. Everything you see on screen was created, modeled, and programmed by myself, excluding what was already in the Rube Goldberg SDK. So the models, like the swords and arrows, were made in Blender, and the rounder, more softer-looking assets like the dragon and sleeping knight were made in a software called WOMP. I had a great time developing this project and hope you enjoyed viewing. Thank you.
How amazing was that?
I absolutely loved it.
That was so crazy.
I feel like I need to be doing more in my life.
Wow. Congratulations. I mean, I remember when I saw it, in the run when we were doing all the voting, and I couldn't believe it. But, it was hard to hear the description at the end. And I was listening carefully this last time again.
One thing I definitely want to shout out, aside from the amazing use of the camera work and the lighting was all spectacular. And I have to do it because he's watching. Even though they used a lot of their own world space and they used a lot of their own custom assets to build that, and even they used our simple machines, from the kit that were in there. Water Snake, I don't know if you noticed, but your chair was still in there as part of the whole thing. So that was kept, and it was one of the things we absolutely loved when developing the kit was that chair. So it was kept.
Awesome.
I loved all the 3 models and that everything kind of had like a cohesive softness to it. Like we were talking about lighting earlier. Well, this like built out full world is very interesting to see, especially with like even the special effects, down to the special effects being kind of like cubey. That was really fun.
It's also fun to see how many different environments you can find a watermelon in.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. I just never, the watermelon in the pirate ship and in medieval castle. And it's great.
Apparently, they had watermelons in medieval times. Who knew?
Who knew? But I love that.
And so, who was that? Who was our top senior prize winner?
That was Chase. Southgate was the name of the team, and from Las Vegas, Nevada. So maybe he could have his own show, like in Las Vegas now or something.
Is Unreal Engine Rube Goldberg machines the new Blue Man Group? Is that like where we're going with this? Like,
maybe at the Sphere.
I would watch that live.
Ian is in.
The funny thing is, Deb, who basically I work with every day, she the two of us do all things Rube, and she spent the first 12 years of her career at Blue Man.
No way.
You made this full circle moment.
All comes together, just like the Rube Goldberg machine sometimes come full circle. Here we are again. Yep. Okay. Well, Steve, I'm gonna give it back to you for any closing statements. How do we feel? And for everyone, to be honest, how do we feel about the thing as a whole, the competition as a whole? How did year 2025 Feed a Pet? How did we do? How did they do?
I am astonished with the just amount of creativity. And Jen mentioned earlier, like everybody had seen these. I hadn't seen these yet. So
there you go.
This is super cool to see what it was that was like had made it all the way to the top, and knowing what goes into these, because we built quite a few of them. Like, kudos to everyone. And I'm going to have to go back and watch all the other ones because these ones they're just so inspiring. Like, I absolutely love doing this. This gives me ideas for next year and the year after and the year after that. So if this becomes a thing that we continue to do, then I got a few ideas up my sleeves.
There we go. Nice.
Maybe short sleeves, but they hold a lot of ideas.
We just
may
can't
have to
make
be
the
pirate
task-
themed.
I was gonna say we can't make the task be a pirate. We can't. Like
we actually have the task for next year.
Ooh.
So
Ahoy! Oh no!
Is that how we're closing out? Can we announce that?
Steve, can I say?
That's a you thing. I mean,
it's well, I mean, I also just want to shout out, we saw things like radioactive oranges feed like happy mushroom men, and we saw like a moon kitty feed a space egg to a cat. I mean, we saw a lot of outer space theme machines entered this year. We saw a few Final Destination type, pretty spooky scary machines. We even had a cardboard theme machine. So we saw everything ran the gamut. So speaking of cardboard, and this is sort of how we envision the analog version of our contest, but if you want to build it, and we're going to see these wonderful animated machines again next year, the task is to open a box. So who knows what,
Wait, I missed it. What was it again?
Box. But we're excited to see what comes out of the box.
Somehow I missed it. What was it again?
It's
Open a box?
A box.
Open a box. But we don't know what's in the box.
We have no idea, but I'm
What's in the box?
to see what comes out of these boxes.
I love it. I like that it's open-ended. That's great.
It's very open-ended. The more open-ended we find the tasks, the more creative the kids can be. And
that's right. Like, what's the pet, right? Is it a chicken? Is it a dragon? Is it a mushroom man? You know, we never said.
We never said. And that's what we love seeing from you guys. Like, how creative can you get with this? And so I really hope we get to see all of you back next year. We loved what we saw this year, and just have a great summer. And if you want more Rube, go to our website. We still have open contests throughout the rest of the year.
Yep, and this is where I'll shout out if you want to learn more about Unreal Engine or UEFN. Steve and Ian, what can they do? Besides unmuting themselves, that's probably like the first thing they should do.
They definitely do.
We have a lot of great resources, as do you. And many of our great resources come from you. So definitely, feel free to drop some links in the chat. I want to drop, we have, why don't you, how about that? I imagine this is a great place to start.
You might have to send them to me.
I gotta send it. No, I can do it in the thing. Yeah.
I like the tech support live tech support, everyone. We're getting the live tech support so you can get the links you need while you're waiting for all the excitement.
For those of you that have done this, you know that this is exactly what I do in my life. Like, I sent so many emails and things where I'm like, here, let's fix this one little thing right here, right now. Let's do this.
We got this, right? This is your rubber duck moment.
I know. Say the lead programmer, and it's totally me. In regards to UEFN, UEFN has moved into an experimental version of using physics. So I am keeping my eye on how we can do this and make
future Rube
inside of Fortnite. Perhaps I'm not saying anything in the moment because we don't know how well it's going to work.
I was going to say maybe a one in the chat if you want to see a Rube Goldberg competition take place in something like Fortnite.
I would love to see that.
I would love that too.
We've talked about that for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of these days. Mm-hmm. And I just want to thank Snow again for and Intel for supporting this and making sure our kids have great prizes, and our friends at Avid. It makes the competition that much more impactful because we get to give kids the tools they need to keep doing this. So,
and that's why we love it. All right. Well, if there are no further comments, and I know Ian's still actively working on things in the chat there, but if there are none, we're gonna say goodnight. We're gonna congratulate again all our winners and everyone who participated, because honestly, we had a blast watching every single video. And yes, we definitely watched every single one a lot. So we love them. So thank you. And we can't wait to see what happens when we open a box
next year. Have a great summer, everybody.
Yep. Take care.
Everybody.
Bye.